All right, welcome into 107. I think Cufre saved this episode from being a above the average toxic episode. Maybe I think we were.
I don't know if it'd be worth that.
You don't think so?
No,
I feel
no.
a lot better though. At like
Oh yeah, for
at like
sure.
halftime down 1-0, I was bad. I was going out bad. I was upset at the ref. I was upset at Hack. I was upset at Hack haters. I was upset at Matty that he tricked us from the Montreal game. I was upset with the club in general that they tricked us from the Montreal game, and I was just ready to come on here and offload these emotions onto the listener so I could just carry on with my life as a normal person.
See,
But I
like,
feel better.
I
feel better
went.
now.
I went to begin to prepare my dinner
Yeah.
towards halftime, and I just
Looking
hear
for some kind of
the
happiness.
biggest sigh come from your room, and it was so funny to me. I'm like, damn, he's really taking this to heart right
Yeah.
now. But no, I mean, exactly what we said in the last episode happened, which was a win turns our frown upside down, and suddenly the agenda will flip. Which was, this streak of draws turns to an unbeaten streak the second that we win. It took a stroke of brilliance from both Cufre and Pellegrini to get us there. Obviously, we're sitting watching fireworks, and at the same time that game was happening. So
Yep.
that's why our first thoughts are coming now because of the midweek and just kind of being busy that weekend. But what did you feel with the win first of all?
With Montreal, I mean, I don't know. I think we had the pleasure of we created like the every touch on Matty, and I think it gave me a different outlook, I think, than maybe a lot of people had on him on the night, because obviously he's getting the Sports Center posts and the clip is getting rerun everywhere possible. But when it really comes down to it, I don't think that goal was much above kind of what he showed on the night. Aside from that, he was pretty much the regular old Matty that we know and love, for better or for worse. But I think
Love is a strong
yeah.
word.
Well, I guess me, and let me not out myself, but I was the dummy that went on
Matty
Blue
the
City
guy?
Radio
Love him.
at the end of last year and said he would be like the catalyst for this season, and here we are.
Maybe, I mean, but catalyst defined could mean that goal,
Maybe I'm a
his goal,
genius.
is the catalyst to, spur on the tail end of our season.
And I would have felt a lot more like that was the case if we won this game too.
Which I thought we were going to do, but yeah, I think watching every touch of Matty, it was kind of like the same thing. He's like gonna have record-breaking yellow card numbers for us.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it was gonna be one of those games. I think early on we were watching while we were walking from brewery to brewery, and I jokingly said that he's gonna be 007 with 0 goals, 0 assists, and 7 yellows, but. You told me that there was an assist in the mix somewhere, so that kind of ruined that.
But even still, I mean, this being his first, so now what? He's 1 goal, 1 assist, and 8 to 9 yellow cards on the season.
Yeah, not a good ratio.
I mean, yeah, not a good ratio. I think he's been blessed in the way that GP obviously got injured, and in that way, Matty gets to come in and play. Cushing is a very big Matty fan. He's proven that over a number of weeks earlier in the season, playing him when there really seemed to be no reason to. And that has kind of started to continue now. But thankfully, for tonight anyways, GP is back against who do we even just play? Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Literally, the game ended like 12 minutes ago. And I already tried to put it out of my mind. But, yeah, I mean, GP, obviously, once he came into the Charlotte game, not to hop around too much, but, like, it was night and day. And I think Seagal was also a factor of that. But really what it boiled down to was GP, for sure.
Yeah, which, I mean, going to that, when you have those two Matty performances back to back where, remove yourself from the goal, which, again, stroke of brilliance, wonderful goal, beautiful talent. You can't say enough about it. Best goal that we've had in a long time as NYCFC fans. You remove that goal, and you're looking at 2 very mediocre performances, borderline bad performances. You're not looking at great 10 out of 10, all metrics are being hit type performances. So You see a GP come into the game and create a bunch of chances. Unfortunately, none of them go to the back of the net, but ton of chances, way better quality, quicker thinking, everything. Matty's probably out of the lineup again.
Well, we kind of had the pleasure, I guess, or we were lucky to be able to see both those Matty performances back to back, because like truly, if you take away that goal, they're pretty much identical. Like they're the same thing. So like any expectations or thoughts that you had, there's probably a certain number of foot mob rating that a goal buys you. Same thing with the Hudson River Blue player ratings and stuff that all the fans fill out, we fill out. There's something that a goal, especially of that caliber, I mean, it's not just an average goal. Even just a regular tap-in will buy you some points, but something like that is obviously going to even bring you above and beyond. So I think it's interesting to be able to look at both and say those are identical performances aside from that one kick. And how different, just in terms of like agenda or thought process, how they can look those two performances can look completely different because of one moment of brilliance.
Yeah.
And I think, to get into a little bit of the Hack talk, he obviously had that one moment, super, I wouldn't call it unlucky, because he obviously did it. There was no luck involved in that. That was just poor decision making. And, he got spun around, I think, once more on the outside of the box later in the game. But aside from that one moment, in the same way that Matty's goal turns a mediocre performance into an incredible one in the minds of watchers, is the same way that an average performance for Hack is turned into a disaster class because of playing the one ball that ends up being the goal for them.
Right. Yeah. No. Which is unfortunate too, because it comes, at the end of maybe 4, 5, 6 solid games for Hack.
Well, that's the thing is, this game did not look, aside from those two moments that we just mentioned, this game did not look much different for Hack than the last 4, where he was Player of the Month candidate alongside GP and Barraza.
Yep.
Somehow Barraza won it. I probably would have put in that still fireworks on Wednesday the 5th. Yeah, today's a Wednesday.
And those are fireworks.
They are fireworks. But yeah, so at least when it comes to me for Player of the Month, I would have probably taken GP Hack Barraza or Hack GP Barraza. So to see Barraza take it over both of them, I think was interesting. But the bottom line is that Hack was top 1 to 2 best players over the course of probably the last month and a half, and tonight's performance did not look much different aside from the moment. The moment. And that's something Cushing often talks about in the press conferences. We're little moments away from literally winning a game or losing a game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're a few moments away from being a completely different club. I think in regards to Hack, I think he's been one of the most solid players. I know that there's been, there's the Hack haters who have been waiting for this moment, which feels dirty too. You're kind of just waiting for a moment to dig at a guy who's a local kid, academy kid. Like, wouldn't you want to be behind him? Wouldn't you want, to be kind of even delusional in the sense and call him better than he is? You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of player that you really want to get behind. But
is that us?
Not really. No, I don't think so.
I was gonna say
we're removed enough from it to see it really for what it is.
But we are prepared to die on this Hack hill, I feel like.
Yeah,
stepping back a little bit.
Because the visuals and the stats back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of a kid, an academy kid is going to make mistakes here and there. Mm-hmm. Anyone who's played the game will know that.
Yeah, and I'm not going to guess how many appearances he's had or starts that he's had this season, but we know for sure that first one, I think it was the first game of the season against Nashville, although it didn't go our way, Hack had a masterclass. I think that was like our thumbnail too. And then obviously the last month and a half, if we want to take this game out just to be, to help out the case of people that don't like him, we're still talking going maybe 6 for 8, 8 for 10 on appearances. Yeah. Like, I mean, how much more can you ask, especially from a kid like that? I'm interested to see what the lineup is going to look like. We obviously saw Thiago Martins back training at halftime. I think probably just warming up, going through the motions. I guess Tavon probably falls out of the lineup, and we go Thiago, Hack, and Chanot, and we roll with these same tactics that we've been going with.
Yeah, I would hope so. I did see statistically, Tavon had a good game statistically.
Hmm.
I think maybe it's just a little bit of PTSD seeing him on the ball sometimes with his form that he's had recently. But I felt unnerved a little bit watching him play. But that could 100% be my bias from his recent performances.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to watch it back with the context of his stats and kind of see the game differently, I guess, and not have the stress of potentially losing. But I don't think that he has played better than Hack over, say, the last 5 games. So when Thiago comes in, I do think it's going to be Tavon that's going to be getting the boot.
Yeah. Do you think there's any chance that we try to go back to a back four? I think now
No.
so many games we've strung together so many 5-3 in the backs.
Yeah, because I think what it is, I think Cushing has found his formation, and he's going to plug people into the spots that are in the formation. He's no longer, changing his formation or his tactics for players, because I don't think anyone really deserves that. There's not a single player outside of Ledesma that could say I want, that demands a different formation to plug him into a position.
And I think
GP.
aside from GP with the injury and nursing that a little bit, and then Santi on yellow card accumulation, I liked Cushing kind of rolling with the same. You often see this a lot if you get a win or if you're rolling with wins, regardless if you feel like some people are better in other positions than certain players, you roll with the squad that's getting it done because they continue to get it done. We're pretty unlucky that unfortunately Santi and GP both have to throw off that rhythm, kind of unbeknownst to them or not necessarily their fault. But I almost think if Santi is in the whole game, if GP is in the whole game, it's like very likely that this is a win. Because I don't even know if it was on air or we talked about it, but like this should have been like a 10-0 win.
Oh, easily.
Like if we have Tati scoring a poker in this game,
yeah.
if he's starting.
100%. I think above all, you could blame Hack's moment for the reason we only got a point.
Mm-hmm.
I would blame, that those things are going to happen. A defender is going to make a mistake that leads to a goal in his career. It's going to happen. How many times do attackers genuinely get open, clear-cut chances in games?
Well, Tala's got 4 or 5 tonight.
It's not very often, and we were cutting Charlotte open and not finishing. That goes for GP as well. GP really had a ton of chances. His favorite, open up his body and shoot on his left foot far post was there, and he chose his right foot for some reason. Hits the post. There's you could blame this game a lot on finishing, but going back to what you said, which was Santi being out tonight, GP being out the night before, it's been a season of that, of Nick Cushing kind of having to use what's there. Thiago gets injured. Chenot's out for international. Sands has been gone for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Like, it's always something. There's never a full 11. I can't remember the last time we had a full healthy 11.
Either. It would have had to be over 2 months ago.
Yeah, one of our home stints.
It might have been the last great home game that we had was 3-0 against FC Dallas.
Yeah.
I think we were there at City. I think that was literally the last time. Because that was right before Sands and Chenot left on their first international duty. I remember us being upset that Keaton didn't get called up, and I mean, how things repeat themselves. Like, Keaton is still 2.5 months later now. He's gone through 3 different windows where he's could have gotten called up at this point, and he's still playing genuinely out of his mind. When it comes to a player in our midfield that is pulling the strings, tonight it was Richie and Keaton together, but more so lately it's been Keaton. Like, it's just been Keaton. Santi's been spinning around doing his thing. Richie's been, not exactly what we've known him to be up to, but Keaton has been so consistent, and it's, I feel for him because it's really unfair. I don't know. It's just really, I hate to see it. It's very upsetting, actually. Like, I just keep walking down the stairs of like how shitty it is. But I think I saw I don't know if it was Greg or BJ or the sporting director that said it, that the reason why Keaton is not being called up is because he's not familiar with the system. Which,
dude, it doesn't matter. He has a friend and a partner that he's gone to war with multiple times right next to him.
Well, and yeah, so Paul Harvey, which we're all, NYCFC community very aware of, tweeted exactly that. I think he said Keaton is not familiar with the system, checks notes. He would play alongside James Sands every game. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But even aside from that, even if Sands wasn't there, I hate that. That to me is like a cop-out excuse.
Oh, 100%.
Because it doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing.
Because how do you get out of the vicious circle of not getting called up because you don't know the system?
Right.
So how do you learn the system if they're never going to bring you in? And they're not going to do it in tune-up competitions?
Balogun was he was born with knowledge of that system.
Yeah.
While he was fighting for possibly playing for England.
Yeah.
He was born for this BJ system.
Mm-hmm. This Greg system now, I guess. I mean, I don't even know when does that. Do we know when that starts?
Hopefully
the Greg
never.
tenure? I don't think we're that lucky. I hope
he gets canceled or something before.
Well, it already did. He already did.
You know what I was thinking actually?
What?
How funny it is that like a new Twitter thing is coming out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like all of the people that got canceled for like 2013 tweets, and now Twitter's like done, and they're like, bro, that couldn't have happened like a year earlier.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't have saved my job.
Yeah.
But
they did try. I don't know if it worked. I guess it didn't work because he literally got rehired, but they tried to. That
was kind of like a full circle thing, right? So we were all like, dude, that's so messed up of Reina's dad to do that. And
Right.
then once we saw the light, we were like, damn, why didn't it work?
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't he have gotten canceled?
Yeah.
Or why couldn't he just not be the coach anymore?
And I think Reina is even out at Austin because they plugged in a Man City guy into Reina's job at Austin.
Yeah,
the
he
sporting
resigned.
director. Yeah. So
it actually ended up where not the good guy because he ruined.
Well,
our
they're
club.
both bad guys.
they're both not
bad
good guys. But yeah, they both lost. One just
the
lost a little
lesser
less.
of two evils guy got his job
the
back.
guy who is ruining maybe the best pool of players we've ever had.
Yeah,
I mean, deep.
It'll always be the best pool though.
I don't think so.
As time goes, we're not gonna get worse.
I guess, yeah.
Right? We could if we're shipping Pulisic's to Syria.
The fact that there's like two separate pools of players, and both are equally deserved to be on the field.
Oh,
Like there's the European pool.
I'm fed up with the European versus MLS thing. There's the Keaton Parks is good enough. Sands is good 100%. Enough to be on the main team,
100%,
which people want to call the Europe team. Like, and there's other guys that are getting positions over them. I think strictly because they're in Europe, which is just
like Weston McKennie should not start over Keaton Parks. That's pretty.
They're close.
I
don't know.
I think McKinney at this point is riding the coattails of his athleticism that Keaton doesn't.
But I think he's riding the coattails of Leeds. He has that. What push did he say? He has that stench on him, like Aubrey's wife.
Oh yeah.
Weston.
Clean him up for the IG when the stenches on him.
Yeah. So what Weston's posting the pics with Pulisic and stuff, but you can still smell it. You can still smell the Leeds. Obviously, Aronson. I guess Aronson doesn't get the same rap. So maybe you're onto something because Aronson, everybody seems to still believe is a bit of a wonder boy, and he was on Leeds. So,
anyways, yeah. But
this is a NYCFC.
Well, it's devolved, yeah. But even if you do separate the two pools into the Europe pool and the MLS pool, like both could stand on 2 feet and both could really be their own team. Like they both deserve to all play.
And like, sorry for the language, but like, didn't we cancel Abby Wambach over this bullshit like 10 years ago with her and many other people? But she was kind of the poster woman for Jurgen coming in and bringing in all these European people that have an uncle in America or whatever they were saying. They have a grandpa in America, but making fun of people like. Even like Jermaine Jones kind of got bad rap because I think he was born in Germany
on a
military base. Yeah, and like I mean, I don't know. Every guy that has represented America, I feel like is American. I mean,
that's like
you can't walk down this like what is honestly because the issue is like what Abby Wambach means is like where are the white guys so I don't
partially, but I think also she meant like it's taking away the opportunities of the American-born. Like full system American-born players, But at the same time, it's like it's a common racism L where it's like, you know, you're racist, but if your bagel shop owner is a certain color, like you love that guy.
Yeah.
Right. In the same way that if Ronaldo had a grandmother in America, we would all be saying Suey.
Yeah. Ronaldo
every single time he scored.
Is the best American
so
that we have.
You know.
Nah. Yeah.
I don't know how we got here.
I don't either. But I'll die on this hill just to wrap up men's national team talk. We have not had. Well, I don't know how many managers we've had since Jurgen, but none have been up to Jurgen standards, and that is. I'll die on that.
Tactically, yeah.
I mean, nobody has been as good as Jurgen.
Jurgen kind of got blackballed from the world after the national
Although
team.
he was on World Cup analyst, and he was doing great. He was
and
great
also
up there.
He was
I love
coaching,
Jurgen.
Some national team, I forgot.
Yeah, well, we have Greg now, and the 2026 World Cup to look forward to. I guess, I guess the contract, like when a guy gets appointed manager right now, you're with him through thick and thin through the World Cup, right?
Well, because we're already the sad part is there's not like anything that can happen that takes his job because we're auto qualified. We got it. We got it with the home nation. There's nothing like we can't even be in danger of not getting it.
I was gonna say Canada might find themselves not even existing, but I don't think we'll have that issue.
Should buy him, dude. Imagine buying Canada's
Davies.
Just get Davies.
Davies and I don't know, Kyle Lauren, UConn guy. That might just be
They'd probably both be
our
French
Connecticut
somehow.
side talk.
Nah, I would take Jonathan David.
Yeah. If you look at like the pure talent that has come through NYCFC, whether that's through academy or just players that have like been on our roster and then at some point gone on to do something, like if we had kept some of these guys around, because some of them honestly are not in positions above the MLS at this point, but are, when combined, MLS beaters, like MLS world beaters. So I don't know, like Kiri, I think of is still killing it in Salt Lake. Jonathan David, I think, is he still MLS?
Was he ever?
He was on our team.
Jonathan David was not on our team.
Yes, he was.
We never had a Canadian guy named Jonathan David on our team.
I'm pretty sure.
Dude.
Isn't he the fast guy that you always everybody always signs in FIFA?
No.
He's a right winger. Oh, I'm lost. Well,
You're lost in the
have we ever had a Canadian on NYCFC?
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Bringing it full circle back to
who knows? Source
NYCFC.
might link us to one soon. You get a link.
Yeah, I guess bringing it full circle back to NYCFC. Charlotte, I don't know how. I don't know. That's the other thing. I don't know how Charlotte has our number. I think that's another thing that kind of had me down in the dumps at halftime, was just thinking back to us being at the stadium for the away game in 2022.
They talked about it too.
Yeah. And they talked about a lot of stuff to upset NYCFC fans on that broadcast. Clearly, they saw our tweet because they mentioned that NYCFC fans were upset on Twitter. And I think it was only us and HRB that talked about it. So I'm glad that bum saw that. I don't even know his name. When I thought it was BWP
he
and
said
not
that it was
Lloyd Sam.
Easy to adjust to our field.
Yeah.
Which is almost as crazy
Well,
as
then
saying
he was
it's hard.
He was just bragging about how they were good everywhere they went and played. It's like, all right, you loser. Then why don't you have a cup then?
And they just have a plate to eat off of.
Yeah. He apologized for it, though, after reading our tweet, so
and then he kind of
I'll take that.
Yeah, whatever. He went a little NYCFC glazer to get it back with the seagull comment.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Well, he was right in a way. We already mentioned it. Team looked better once Seagal came on.
A lot
just
better.
making the runs that a 9 makes.
Cushing W.
Go off with that, because you mentioned it pre-record.
Cushing W. If we're gonna sit and criticize, rightfully so, some of the subs, every sub that he made today was solid and on point. And
GP was the moment for me.
Turnbull haters,
what time was that?
Out.
60? Like in the 60th, I think we were like, hey, we need to see GP in the 60th, and it came. He came very soon after.
Yeah.
Turnbull. There was a I don't know. I can't identify it, but there was a ball that Turnbull played into GP
Yeah.
that went through like 3 defenders and had GP sat at like 6-9 yards from the goal.
Yeah.
And it just didn't pan out. But
Literally everyone.
I like that kid. He's fun to watch, honestly.
He's a good
It sucks
player.
because it's a position where we have so much depth.
And it's gonna take like us being dominant and having off game like lower opponents, which we're not that position yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think every single one of his subs were great. Even O'Toole, because obviously that one had to happen. I thought O'Toole came on and looked good. Turnbull looked like a dog running down that right side. Like he gave the team a lot of energy and a lot of I want it more than you.
Mm-hmm.
And GP the same. GP looked like he could have scored at any moment.
That's what I liked about GP the most. I think one of the first opportunities that he had was against, or he had Richie in. Like Richie was scoring 1,000% if GP plays that ball, but I didn't hate that GP took it for himself.
Right.
Even though what's lost was lost. We need somebody up top, whether that's from the 9 or either the wings, that has a killer instinct like GP. Like every time GP touched the ball, he shot.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there was one part where he didn't shoot. He took the free kick off Richie. He shot. He hit the post on his first attempt. Like he just kept going for it.
With that being said, that free kick was abysmal.
That
was, I mean, like
that was the most
waste.
Anticlimactic thing ever. I thought for sure we were winning. I thought we were winning off that.
Personally, the way that it happened in my head was you saw Ledesma point to O'Toole,
Mm-hmm.
being like, "Hey, like be aware."
Mm-hmm.
I thought Gabby was gonna play it backwards somewhat to Ledesma. Ledesma was gonna hit O'Toole quickly, and O'Toole was just gonna fire it to the top right corner.
Yeah,
like that happened in my brain, and then I saw him like spurring it on, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's really gonna happen."
Yeah,
and then
you just can't waste
just chipped it
moments like that. That was the only low light for me for GP on the night.
Yeah.
And did we even talk? I know we talked about Cufre scoring, but I think
the overall performance.
Yeah, the overall performance from Cufre. Last 3 to 4 weeks now, he has been 2 weeks. He's been contending GP for the best player on the pitch.
Because Portland, I think I tore into him.
Yeah, well, I think Portland was bad, but the game prior was good. So it was good, bad, good.
Yeah.
Because he had
to be fair,
an assist or two, something like that.
Somewhere
he had a goal called off that was wrong at some point. But
I chalked it up to 50% the performance that he put in, and 50% Cushing's tactics on the day, understanding that we needed to take advantage of the wide areas. And we did it on both sides. We did it more effectively on the left side because of Cufre's talent and his ability. But clearly, tactically, we wanted to abuse the wings and send it wide first. That was something that Nick put into the team.
Well, I think there's something to be said, too, for as good as Turnbull or Alenic looked when they're getting to play off GP, who obviously helps anybody around him look better. Cufre did not have that on the left side. Tales was not that, and in spite of all that, I think very early on, Richie and Cufre were a stupid little partnership up there. Like they were playing triangles and everything, and there was like you said, 1 or 2, maybe 3 chances where one of them played perfect balls. I think Keaton also gave a perfect ball up to Tales, and I don't know, when you're in the positions that he was in tonight, I don't know. It's like with Tati, it was like volume shooting, right? Like he's gonna get 5 to 6 shots a game, 1 to 2 are gonna go in.
2 of them,
yeah. Tales is getting that volume at the moment, and he's scoring none. And like this isn't the first game like that.
Yeah, no, I think the comment that the only good comment that announcer made, Lloyd. What are you, like a pack of meat, bro? Don't they sell meat?
Lloyd's hamburgers.
Lloyd's Sloppy Joes.
From
Lloyd,
New Jersey, that fits.
Lloyd mentioned that he loves football too much and he doesn't have that killer instinct. Like he likes to play too much, similar to how Ronaldo was kind of doing the dancing and all that. when he first started. But the difference was Ronaldo was still
Scoring.
a disgusting scorer, like setting Premier League records and dancing.
That was one thing I went and looked at before the game because the Pigeons tweeted that he really wanted to tell his, obviously everybody in the world wants to tell his goal.
Dude, he's on my bumper. Like,
So
I could have.
Yeah, I don't know. That sticker has to come off. Should have replaced the sticker with the bumper. So I went and looked at his match log, and I don't think he's been a part of a goal or an assist in like 9 games, which is, as a left wing, is just mental. Like
Or even occupying the 9
it's impossible.
at times.
Yeah,
Many
times.
That's just not. It's just not acceptable.
Yeah.
So.
Columbus coming up at home. They're in 4th place. I feel like, I don't know, it kind of hurts to see 4th place. Not that it hasn't dawned on me at some point, but to me, every year we're like in 4th place, like most of the time,
or somewhere.
More often than not, I feel like, oh, okay, we're in 4th, which means we're gonna get at least first home game, and that's not the case. And I just thought about that, seeing the 4th. So I guess they're pretty good if they're up there, tied with Miami, which doesn't say much because Miami is a dumpster. They beat the Red Bulls and they beat Nashville, which is 2 pretty big results. So we're gonna have to see.
I mean, like I said, we're knocking on heaven's door in the sense that we are right at the edge of the playoffs. We're looking at being right there, and honestly, I mean, Columbus would have beat Miami had it not been for that copy paste goal that they scored at the end from the Pellegrini goal. So, what are we? How many points out? A point out.
Yeah, we're a point out.
We're a point from being in playoffs, and so, kind of makes tonight feel worse.
Well, so you
and I'm just thinking that
you were maneuvering through that sentence as if it was going to end with like a silver lining. You're like, oh no, this is shit still, actually.
And they have 2 games in hand. So.
The 2 games in hand is what kills you. But DC though, we're 4.
Still, those 3
out.
points would have put us at 28, right behind DC.
That's the issue. Is
2 points.
So the out of the 4 teams behind us, 3 of them have 2 games in hand on us, and they are all pretty much within 6 points. So if it would be up to them if they wanted to get in over us. And then, I mean, most of the table, I don't know how we've played so many more games than the rest of the league, but most of the table has at least 1, probably half the table has 2 games on us, which it's bad. I mean, it doesn't help.
But we still have a good amount of games left, a lot of them being at home.
Yeah.
And hopefully some news coming as of tomorrow, because
today
the
it's
window
open.
is officially open. So.
And Atlanta is signing a Frenchman. I forgot his name. Makundi or something.
Makamba.
We Google searched his name.
Makamba.
He wasn't on the first page of results, so you cannot blame us for not knowing his name. But Columbus, Cucho, Alexandru Matan, we thought
Matan was a dog.
We thought we were getting him, and we were like, it's gonna be the Matrita reboot, and then he went to Columbus. Nagby holding on the midfield.
Matrita is finally off of our books.
And Zelarayan.
Yeah, they got some good players.
Zelarayan, and obviously we gifted them Malde, who last time we played them not that long ago, like within a month, but we were at the game.
Malt was not very
We were at the game.
We weren't at the game.
That was the last game we were at Yankee Stadium.
We didn't see Malt.
Yes, we did. And Zelarayan and all those other men right there.
No, we didn't see that.
Well, so we were at that game. Yeah, no, because we were sitting with
we watched it
our
on
boy.
TV.
No. We were sitting with our boy.
100%.
I can't remember his name. Shit.
Go back to the schedule.
Back to the schedule. Fixtures. If it was at Yankee Stadium, we were at it. Oh, no, it couldn't have been, because this one is. So that one would have been away. So you might be correct. And also it was, yeah, no. It's hard to know.
Seagal, Thai. I was at a
That was the 94th minute.
yeah, I was at a
We were not
graduation
there.
party.
We were not there.
Not at all.
We were not there. Because it was in Columbus, actually.
Yep.
But I mean, we were able to. Well, we stole a point from them in that game.
Yeah.
We stole a point from them in that game. So only helps us to be at Yankee Stadium. That, at least in the past, has been our fortress. Citi Field has felt the same, but
I really feel another Gabe goal coming too, just based off the effort of the night.
I did say in the group chat, because somebody said Gabe brace incoming. If Gabe got a brace, that I would have purchased a jersey and they could all hold me to it. And then 4 seconds later, Gabe almost hit that header, and my bank account was worried. They were like, "There's no way we're spending $200 on a Gabe jersey, right?" And then he skied it, and I was just like,
What's
okay,
scary is bringing up past bets of buying jerseys in this household, because I owe everyone a Medina jersey.
I'm not sure many people remember that. I think our numbers have grown exponentially. That doesn't mean they're out of this world, but compared to back then, we're in a different realm of listener or viewership, I guess. So, I mean, you're just outing yourself at this point. And
I have a way of doing that.
I have a way of doing that. People would say that you want to buy the jersey if you're doing that, but I wouldn't if I were you.
I'm not gonna do it.
Maybe we made a bet last week. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
Oh no. It's over these 4 games. So technically,
I have 1 point.
I think I lose already.
So now I need 2 wins. No.
I would need the rest to be draws. To be able to win.
Because we did over under 6.5.
Right.
I gave you way too many points. That means we can win and draw out of the next 3. We could win, draw, lose, and you'd be good.
I picked under.
Right. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is only 5.
Right. But
so I need 2 wins.
But I did technically say that we would get 6. I said we would win Montreal. Oh, I tapped this. I said we would win Montreal, and I thought that we would win this game and then lose the next 2.
Yeah.
Which was how I chalked it up. Technically, we could still get 6 if we draw the next 2.
No.
Yeah.
That'd be 3.
That's
1 plus 1 plus 1.
What's 3 plus 3?
Oh, because we beat Montreal. You're right.
Big maths.
I'm not feeling good about mine. I was supposed to.
You're still winning a loss away then.
Yeah, against Philly and Columbus. What is that? The 2nd and 4th place teams? No, I thought for sure after this game I'd be coasting at 6 points off a Montreal and a Charlotte win, but poetic that Hack blew that for me. I'm like the biggest cheerleader, and he has to go and screw me. Won't drop another F-bomb on the pod before Apple catches our ass with that explicit tag.
Yeah.
But
and they catch at every touch.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you made it this far, salute to you. I don't know how you did that.
This feels like a good one though. Out of, not that they don't all feel good, but this one felt extra.
This
good.
one feels like a workout because it is 97 degrees in your room.
Yeah. Welcome to my life. Ceiling fan, no power to it though. So you just got to put the window fan in and blow 80 degrees in because that's cooler than 90 degrees.
Anyways.
107 in the books. Follow us at Post90Pod, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
And now?
Threads. To be honest with you, just follow us on Twitter because we're just going to, every time we tweet, it's going to be like copy, boot, swipe, Threads, paste, post.
Yep.
For the time being. Although I do have to say, although I was definitely in Twitter doomsday mode whenever Elon announced that we had a view limit because we couldn't even celebrate. Montreal.
Yeah.
The game ended and we were out of tweets.
We just had to go to bed. To Apple Music and the living room and be weird.
Yeah. So I didn't experience that today though. Since then, I have not seen a rate limit exceeded.
Correct.
So I don't know if that means I'm not terminally.
We were back to work.
That's true.
We were back to work. And I was mad, though, today because I kept seeing recycled tweets, but no rate limit reached. So I think they're just showing us the same stuff.
To meet the rate?
No, to beat the rate. They're like, we're gonna load like 100 tweets, and those are just gonna be tossed into your mix
To
limit you without
get you
making
limited.
you get to the limit.
Yeah.
That's a little bit like
fraudy.
tinfoil hat.
Oh.
But I think that's how we got here.
I do have to say that we've finally combed the podcast. I mean, if you were to go into our muted words on our podcast Twitter account, it looks like a dictionary. Like every political term known to man, anything, literally any other sport, anything soccer or MLS or NYCFC related, like there's a word in there for it.
Not seeing it.
And then, as you said, every cat or dog video known to man or clips that go hard where you just see somebody die is on the timeline. And I think you're right. Elon's trying to hit our quota to make us cough up that $8.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Not happening, Elon.
Unless YouTube went down and we had to upload our podcast somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the only shot.
That is the only shot. I don't think YouTube's going down, though. Although, if Elon doesn't want to pay him.
There's currently a strike on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, well.
I don't know.
107.
I don't know what to say about that.
107.
I have to add YouTube strike to the muted words on Twitter.
We might have to block that out of the YouTube version.
They might block us after they hear that.
No, it's after the 10-minute mark. Apparently that matters.
The man in charge of the upload machine is going to put our shit on a blacklist.
No, apparently you get away with anything if it's after the 10-minute mark.
Anything, huh? So, yeah, I mean, that's 107. Felt like a good episode. So if you guys liked it, as Pat McAfee says, be a friend, tell a friend. Share it out with other NYCFC fans that you know. I'm not sure what the next game we're going to get out to is, but hopefully soon. It feels like it's been a while.
It has been a while.
But gotta do something against Columbus. Gotta keep the ship rolling.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
keep this thing moving. Make Matty's goal matter.
Mm-hmm. And it was still now that we've gone through our 42-minute therapy session, it was still good vibes. This game was good vibes tonight.
Oh yeah.
It could have been a lot worse.
Stomped them. We had 60% possession. We stomped them.
We just didn't get the points. Yeah.
So MMGA, make Matty's goal matter. And that's not GA.
MMGM, make Matty's goal matter. Or MMGA, make Matty great again.
I don't think we're getting back that.
But when you
MMGA? We can't tweet that.
MMGA? No, we can't. Well, also because, again, implies he was good at some point. And it would feel kind of disingenuous to be talking about a 10-second kick when you're saying again. But, I mean, that'll do it. That'll do it for 107.
Yeah, we got it.
I think. At Post 90 Pod, everywhere we said, audio only, no ads, but just search Post 90 Podcast, Apple Pod, Spotify, and I think the provider pushes it out to a billion other places too. So wherever you're listening, it's on there. And
yeah, Turnbull haters, Seagal haters, eat your heart out.
And we'll catch. I was gonna say we'll catch you after Columbus.
Wow.
Because we don't have a midweek.
PS.
So we're gonna work overtime, I guess, do a Columbus episode, and then enjoy 7 days off until whatever the game after that is. I think Philly. So we're just gonna warm up for things that can't be said on Apple Pods.
Oh man, I meant to talk about the LAFC game because it was so good for the game. But we'll get out of here.
90K is crazy.
It was great for MLS.
Overshadowing Atlanta is awesome because their fans are terminally online. Like they need to.
I heard terminally, and I was like, "Where are we going?"
Terminally online, and I've been told it is a little tinfoil hattish, but that they have Twitter bots to win.
Wow.
To win goal of the weeks for Thiago Almada when he's scoring goals off of hitting a wall on a free kick. I guess
ridiculous.
Every week, that's what they do. So I don't know if they're botting their attendance numbers too.
Must also do things for MLS like numbers too.
Well, I'm sure Twitter's pushing it to a wider audience.
Peter.
Pushing Peter. Sweeter.
And more completer.
And more completer.
Just like this episode.
Matty has been getting robbed. Completer.
107.
Completer than any podcast episode we've done. Catch you in 108.
108.
108.
Peace.
Peace.